of different situations throughout his career, and he thinks he's finally found the best one.
This is the best situation I've ever been in, or the best situation that I've ever gone into as the guy. I just feel like the way that I'm playing the last 4 years, kind of the progression of my career, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that 17 years in, physically I feel great, mentally, emotionally, I'm in the right spot. I just think I am set up for success this year, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, it's the best defense, probably. I mean, I don't have all 9 teams he's played for, but I would say this. Defensively, he will not have to win. He won't have to, like last year with Miami, similarly, he didn't really have to. I mean,
he didn't have to compensate for a bad defense.
Tua went 6-3.
Yeah.
And Tua was throwing for 120 yards a game. Tua went 6-3. Similarly, he does not have to throw for 300 yards. In this division, he could throw for $190. They run the ball fairly well.
I think it's a great situation for him. It is a division that is obviously very winnable. I like Ron Rivera. I like what they're building on. He finally has a good culture there. It's a good situation for him, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just, being a Dak homer, but I just like the Cowboys better in this division.
Best quarterback usually wins your division. That's fair. Best quarterback wins your division, and Dak's the best quarterback in that division.
Yep.
No question. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Live
Kevin
News.
O'Connor, respected reporter, this morning says the Heat, Knicks, Sixers, Rockets, Kings are in hot.
So good to see you guys.
All right, Joy with the news.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herd Live News.
It's a really great point.
He's absolutely right about
Free
the TV
agents
games.
would pick teams. Oh,
Yeah.
they're on 17 NBC games. We've got to go play for them. And isn't that absurd to think?
Well, it is absurd to think, and I don't want to be old person either, but it's impossible to explain that was a thing now, because there's just access to everything. You can stream games, and kids can watch high school games streamed.
When I watch
So even
television,
if it's not televised, it doesn't matter.
I have a red zone channel, so I can watch with my multiple TVs every single NFL game. Now think about this. All of them.
Yeah.
It used to be that you watched Monday Night Football in the 70s and 80s because at halftime, Howard Cosell would have the highlights of Sunday's games.
Yeah.
And yet it was often the first time you had seen them. Oh, my God, you had to wait 24 hours or longer just to get a glimpse of the Eagles-Giants game because you lived in Seattle and it wasn't on TV and you weren't getting all the highlights.
That's why I argue that players have more power now, because it used to be all about the team and the city and
that's about the player.
Loyalty, and you can watch any game from anywhere now. I asked my oldest nephew years ago, who's your favorite NBA player? And he was like, Russell Westbrook. I'm like, you live in Miami. You don't like a Heat player? He's like, what's this? Who cares if I live in Miami? I can watch him anytime I want to. I'm like, that's a great point. 20 years ago, he would have a favorite player on his team that he watched in his market. But you don't need to do that anymore. So a result of that also is players have more power, because you can have a diehard fan in Seattle that's a fan of some player in Houston. It just doesn't matter. You have access to different things now.
Yeah.
So Devin Booker has been playing well in the finals, despite the Suns being on the brink of elimination tonight. He's had back-to-back 40-point games and has drawn some comparisons to Kobe Bryant, but he doesn't want to put himself in the same conversation as one of his mentors.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it much. I know it's something that everybody has going on right now, and, I didn't make that comparison myself. And, I just leave it at what he's done for me as a mentor. And the advice that he's left me with, so I try to take bits and pieces of his mentality and his approach, but, I should never be compared to Kobe Bryant.
I like that he shut this down. Booker has been linked pretty consistently with Kobe because of his style of play and because he was his mentor.
They're dominating scoring two guards.
He has a tattoo, be legendary, because Kobe wrote that on his shoes. Yes. But I also like that he's shutting that down. And I wish we would stop comparing everybody in this way all the time. We've been talking about the LeBron-MJ comparison forever. And when you're the top of the league, you're going to get compared to Michael no matter what. That's Kobe got compared to Michael.
The only comparison, honestly, that I think is totally fair and it fits is Kobe played and sounded like Michael when he first started. I mean, their games were very similar. They had that kind of, the way they walked, they were about the same size. Kobe idolized him, and so he took some of Michael's stuff. Now, Michael was stronger. Kobe had better shooting range. Kobe, I thought, was the better ball handler. Michael was the better defensive player. But I did think those comparisons, and they were both really scores first. And they had the same mentality.
We're always going to make these comparisons, but I do think in some way when we overemphasize the comparison, we take away from the experience of both players because we're not enjoying them for what it is they accomplished when they did. Like, there's always the era conversations. Like, it's not the same game. Like, things evolve, things change. So, like, arguing over whether the Bulls would beat the Warriors, it's like, maybe they would, but who, like, other than just having a fun conversation, it really can't be legitimate. And I think it takes away from both teams' greatness.
When I watch Booker play, stylistically, I don't see Kobe.
No, I don't either.
I just see a really good scoring two-guard. When I watch Kobe, I saw some Michael. When I watch Giannis, it does remind me of a really, really young Lou Alcindor.
Oh,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem. See, he reminds me a little bit of LeBron. Just his body type.
Who's that?
Giannis.
Yeah.
Because LeBron just played so downhill. He was so dominant. He was just stronger and faster and just better than everybody. It just didn't, not that he wasn't extremely skilled, because he obviously is. But they remind me of each other. But yeah, like we could do these debates forever. The Bucks are favored by 5 tonight. Looking forward to that. So Kyle Lowry is on the free agent market this summer, and he's drawing some attention from around the league. The newest team that has interest in him is the Pelicans. According to Mark Stein, there's a rising buzz that New Orleans might make a play for Lowry. He averaged 17.2 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game last season, played in 46 games. He has missed at least 14 games in 4 of the last 5 seasons. So he's not really an injury-prone player, but he has missed more games recently.
He's a nice player.
He missed a career-high 26 games this season.
He gets a lot of pub. There's this Kyle Lowry thing. He's a nice player.
I think he's consistent. He's a veteran. I do like this move for the Pelicans because they're not going to pay Lonzo Ball, apparently. He's a free agent, and they're unlikely to match any significant offer sheet for him, and he could end up getting an offer in the range of 4 years, $100 million. So they are going to need to replace Lonzo Ball there. And Kyle Lowry is a veteran. He's a consistent player. If he can, stay healthy, I don't think it's a bad move for the Pelicans, especially if they're going to lose Lonzo Ball, who's actually been linked to going back to the Lakers. So Ryan Fitzpatrick will suit up for his 9th team as a starter in Washington this year. He's been